We've got some crows crows are going away. Remember this hoodie? Old school times. So today we're going to tell you a bit of story time. We're going to tell you that storiness, and we're going to tell you about making money, making cash, cold hard cash online. This is Australian currency, by the way. So yeah, it's Australian currency. But big fat wads of cash. Most people will do anything. The things people do for this stuff, insane. And money won't make you happy, you know? Having big wads like that in your pocket, whatever, it won't make you happy. It'll be novel, you'll be able to buy shit you don't really need, and you'll be able to floss and finesse and flex and shit like that, but you'll be like quickly depressed if you make the more money. I find the more money you make beyond what you really need, the faster you will become depressed. And relationships will suffer, friendships will suffer, stress will go poof. If you want to have more stress in your life, make more money than you really need, for sure. And if you go to places like in Africa and Asia where people are making $2-3 a day and they live in a real simple lifestyle, you'll see these people so generous, so humble, just so chill, you know, so chill. Imagine that. Imagine being a rice farmer in Asia and you don't have any kids and you live $2 or $3 a day. You got, you know, $1.50 for food, $1 for your rent, you know, because some of the places cost $30 a month for rent. And so that's what you do. You wake up, do your rice farm, and go for a walk, talk to your community people. It's a very, very simple life, you know. Then you throw some kids in there, single mum, you know. Then that's when things get really tough, money-wise. But anyway, people watching this video don't live in those situations. So I'm just letting you know. Been on both sides of the fence, homeless, dead, broke, to making more money than I even know what to do with. If you can't manage your money now, if you make a lot of money, you'll be even worse. That's why you see so many sports stars become bankrupt, like guys like MC Hammer or maybe Mike Tyson, etc., because they didn't know how to manage money to start with, and then all of a sudden you get a lot of money, you won't be able to manage that. People go, I'll manage it for you. So anyway, this video is going to be talking about YouTube success and a lot of stories in this video. Let me talk about first story was in 1997 I walked into a bike shop and I saw this beautiful blue road bicycles and Avanti Corsa, track cycles Marion, and there's a salesperson there called John. And John was a slick seller, a real nice guy, a genuinely legit human. And he just knew his product, he loved selling stuff. And I walked in there and I saw this bike, and he's like, yeah, and we had a chat. And I was like, man, I've got to get this bike. And I was like, I don't have a job, I've got no money. And so then I went and got a job at this factory, you know. And I went into this job employment agency who hired for this factory. And they're like, nah, there's no jobs. And so I came back the next day. And after about a week of coming there every single day, the receptionist was like, look, like, you know, like, don't you get it? There's no jobs at the moment. And so then I started going back twice a day, you know, and she was getting really pissed. She was getting really offended. And I remember going there one day and she's just like, look, like, you know, I've told you a few hours ago, what are you doing back, you know? And then this guy's like, this manager guy walks past and he sticks his head in the corner and he goes to the receptionist, is everything okay here? She's like, yeah, he's back again. And he's like, yeah, I see. And the guy's like, hey, mate, come with me for a minute. So I thought, oh, fuck, I'm in the shit, you know. And so I go in his office. He goes, you're pretty keen to get a job, aren't you? I said, mate, I'll work for free. I'll work for free just to show I'm willing to work. And he said, you don't have to do that. We'll give you a shift tonight, a trial shift at this factory. You know, be here at 8 o'clock. You know, and so I managed to be at 8 o'clock, and it's this mad polluted factory. I had no experience in factory work at all. And it was a foundry. So we're picking up these big manifolds for V8 motors for Holden, and then, you know, for a production line. And I remember just thinking, oh, man, I'm over my head here, and I was dropping them on the ground, and then they'd be like breaking, have to get melted, you know, like. And after about 2 hours, the foreman comes up to me, and goes, man, you know, we can't, if you can't get the job done, Harley, sorry, mate, we can't keep you on. I'm gonna have to let you go. I'm gonna give you one more try. I'm gonna show you. I'll show you one more time how to do this. And you, boom, boom, boom. And I was thinking in my head, oh, I've got to get this, man. I'm gonna get this bike. So I had that desperation, you know, and I just got it. I don't know what happened, but I just got it. I got the technique down pat. And then he comes back about an hour later. He's like, "What are you doing, man? You got it!" Fucking, he's high-fiving me. I'm like, "Yeah." And I just mastered that skill, that production line thing. I didn't know what I was doing at the start, but then when the desperation came around, I'm like, I've got to get this done or I'm out of here, and I want to get that road bike from John. And so then I got my money, worked there for a month, got my money, got the bike, and quit because it was just mad pollution and just night shifts were killing your health. And later that factory got shut down because of how polluted it was. And then I got another job in a different factory. But it just taught me that when the why is strong enough, the how comes instantly. And so if if you have motivation in life, if that motivation is just for money to buy some clothing to impress, then you'll get that goal, but then it'll be quickly like you feel empty. But I got that bicycle, and man, my whole life just changed because I got this lightweight road bike. I'm just riding around all the hill. It's just my whole life just boom, it changed forever. And but yeah, that's just persistence. I don't accept no for an answer ever. If I believe it's possible, then I go until it's done. And people gotta have that same attitude. If you think, oh, I can't do YouTube, I'm not skinny enough, my tits aren't big enough, or I'm too old, or I'm too young, or I've got a pimple, or I'm not swole, or fucking my voice is weird, or I got a horse face, it doesn't fucking matter. Because there's people out there who are crushing it, who have less of what you have, right? But they have, what they do have is they have more consistency and more self-belief. And if you don't have self-belief now, this moment, then if you do ever have fame or a hot boyfriend or a hot girlfriend or a hot car or a certain job, you won't be able to maintain it, dude. Trust me, you won't. You fucking will. It'll destroy you. And I've seen people get on YouTube, early adopters, or follow my template and do really, 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 really well. I mean, there's so many YouTubers out there in the vegan scene that have made bank for me, day one, getting on YouTube, give them a channel name, give them a plug up and just pushing them, give them the template, and they follow it. They work hard. They got to get it done. But a lot of them, it's just destroyed them. You see that they've aged rapidly, or they're stressed, or their relationships break up, or it's because they didn't have the skill set to start with, and I just sort of throw them at high speed, and they do it, and they get the speed going, but they didn't know how to handle driving fast, right? So that's why I do videos like this, to help people. It's not how fast you can drive, it's how you drive fast, right? It's not how fast you can come down Mount Lofty, as how you go when you're going fast. Does that make sense? If you're doing 200k an hour, cool, but if you can't handle 200k an hour, you're gonna have a big crash soon. So you want to have, if you can't drive at 10k an hour, you want to build up to that. So if you're like, oh, I'm gonna wait till I get fit and then I'll start doing videos, it's like, fuck, what? That ain't ever gonna happen. And in the meantime, people, the competition's so strong on YouTube right now, on social media, it's intense. So if you're not doing content every day, ideally multiple times a day, you're losing your ground in what you could be. Simple as that. There's a great guy to check out called Gary V. Gary V, he's the same age as me, and he just smashes out content. Yeah, he does have a team that helps him push out content, but if it's just Gary V by himself, he could do as much as well. But he's got a family and all his business stuff. But Gary V is a great example of quantity. Quantity. It's not quality. It's just a phone like this. It's not quality at all. People would watch that and go, that's not quality. That's just like, there's captions on it and it's weird, and Gary's not even wearing makeup, the lighting's shit, the audio's It's not quality, but it's quantity. And so Gary V, just an old dude like me, crushing it, man, because he just bangs it out. And Gary V is a guy who won't take no for an answer either. So Gary V is a great person as well to watch on the YouTube there. Gary V, not Gary Y, Gary Yorosky, who sold out and doesn't do any content anymore. Gary V. All right, that's another thing as well. Like, if you have an audience base, it's your responsibility to upload content. That's your job. That's what you're here to do. Do your fucking job. If you've got 100k subs, or 1k subs, or 2 subs, or millions, whatever, it's your job to smash out content for those subscribers. Understand that responsibility. And so what gets me going is like, well, I've got people waiting for content every second of the day. If I upload something, bang, someone's watching it. If it's just one person, that's all that matters. You got one person relying on you, that's enough motivation to put up a bit of content. But we have people out there, oh man, it's crazy. And I've had the fortune to witness and build up YouTubers from day one. Day one. Let's rattle off some names. We got Freely Banana Girl. You got all my girlfriends over the years. You got Let's think of people who stay with me. Maddie Limburner is doing really well. She stayed with me back in 2016 and had no audience, and I was like, how can we get you going? You got a good vibe for it. And Maddie Limburner is doing well. She doesn't upload enough though, but she's doing very, very well for herself financially and view-wise. Could she do better? Always you can do better. But the trap people get into, I see it with everybody, and I know because I'm a YouTuber, is they get in this perfection mindset. Oh, I've got 100k subs, or I've got 200k subs, or now I have to do it like this, and it's going to be more professional. And then they it's like they narrow themselves down into this little tiny funnel, and there's no room for error, and then they just squeeze themselves out of success, or squeeze themselves out of joy for life, because it's like, well, I can't do this, because if I do that, then that's... But at the start, it's like, anything will go. I'll try to do any clickbait title or whatever, but then as the success comes, people narrow it down, you know? That's why I do videos in anything. And that gives me that freedom. I don't have this like shackle of like, I can only do videos about cycling, or I can only do videos about this, or can't do any drama, can't share my feelings. It's like, oh man, that's like wearing a tie really tight in your neck, just tighter and tighter. You're like, okay, I'm just gonna do a video just on this. It's gonna be this. Woo! Fuck that. That ain't living, man. That ain't living. All right. So that goes for everybody on YouTube. You know, everybody. PewDiePie is a great example of someone who doesn't have that total restriction. He's just like, yeah, whatever goes. Trisha Paytas, she's an example. She's got the tie, she's cut it off, and she's as a freaking G-string. Trisha Paytas, go look her up. All right, Trisha Paytas, fantastic example of someone who's just doing so well and living just like relaxed. You know, her diet's shit, her health's bad from eating all that crap, but she's got the mental game going on point. Trisha Paytas, girls, study her, watch her, subscribe to her, see how she just smashes it up. She's not a girl who's, you take a photo of her, she's like, let me look, oh no, delete, no. That's freaking mental issues. She's a girl, you take a photo of her, she's like, upload it. What are you doing? Upload it now. She doesn't want to see it. She's like, upload it. If she wants to see it, she goes, make me look a bit worse. Hang on, use this filter to make the cellulite look worse. That's how much game she's got. On point. Imagine working with her, it'd be so freaking easy. So easy. Often, the more aesthetic the woman, the more she paralyzes herself in her head. She judges herself even more, because with more aesthetics becomes more attention, becomes more judgment. You got little jealous people or whatever, and then the person, the guy, the girl starts to analyze himself. This is a guy on steroids. People say, "Hey, did you skip leg day?" You know, or whatever, or you know. And so it's just then people start to get in their head, and and then the self judgments with them all the time. Not just on social media, but they have it in their head. And then it's like, then it's game over. And it doesn't matter how much money you're making or whatever, if you have no quality of life because you're always judging yourself, you're flatlining in success of happiness. That's no way to live. That's no way to live. So anyway, let's get back to the people who have helped out for day one. We've got Maddie's doing great. High Carb Hannah, create that name. We've got Joey Carbstrong. You know, he's doing well for himself money-wise. He was, you know, living in northern suburbs, Adelaide. No opportunities out there. He came to me. I said, Lou, let's get you going. You know, let's call you Carbstrong. You know, your last name's Armstrong. Let's go Carbstrong. And he's crushed it. He's used my template. Yeah, so we've got Carbstrong. We've got the vegan couple. Created that name as well for them. Who else have we got? James Aspie, got him going on the YouTube. He used to write to me back in the day for advice. Who else have we got? And there's others like Ravana and Tim Sheaf and Fully Well Christina, on and on and on. And some of them, obviously, you know, we disagree on what they say these days, but it's an example of, I know what I'm talking about. All right? So if you do want the coaching or whatever, you know, to be Vegan Gains is another person I go, come on. Vegan Gains. If you do want, you know, coaching to get on, then join my coaching group. Go to Durianrider.com. All right. If you just, you know, because if you don't have a mentor, it can be very, very tough. Like that guy at the factory, you know, he showed me exactly what I had to do. He goes, this, Harley, this is what you do. This. You know, do this, nothing else. Do this, Harley, and you'll get it done. And so I did that. You know, he was on point. It's just boom. I didn't argue. I just did it. And boom. I succeeded in that factory line. So when people just follow my advice and don't argue, then boom, they get the freaking results. All right. But so many people, they start to argue and go, no, and it's like, oh my God. We shouldn't be arguing. You should be fucking uploading. Right? And that's the reality of that. So this thing works. It's outlined in my Carb the Fuck Ebook as well, Durianrider.com. And anyway, let's carry on with the video. the toughest thing out there is people thinking, when this happens, then I'll do that. When I'm skinny, when I've got this, when I'm more swole, when I'm lean, when I got more abs, then I'll be blah, 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 blah. It's like, no. Because there's people out there today like Trisha Paytas who are crushing it. Because they don't have this, when I got this, then I can do that. They're like, I'm awake, let's do a video. Let's do a post. Let's do it now. Gary V. What time is it? It's time to do some content. You know? There's less conditions, there's less rules. The more conditions and rules you have, your life sucks. Your life sucks. To succeed on YouTube, to have success, one of the biggest tips is have less rules. Have less self-judgment. Obviously, you want to get the audio okay. I'm not sure if it's not too much windy. Get the lighting okay. If there's too much sun on your face or whatever, then do basic things like that. But that's like takes a couple seconds. The self-judgment stuff, man, it's got to go. It's got to go. You wouldn't believe some of the superstars that I've had, in my circle, or I've seen, or I've talked to on Instagram or whatever, potential superstars who could have been like fucking insane star level, or people who are doing really well now who could take it to the next level, but they're judging themselves, they're getting all perfect, and then they're just paralyzing their success with self-judgment. It is crazy. If I was a chick, here you go. If I was a chick, I could even crush it even more, for sure. Because if you're a young female, or if you're just female in general, guys want to watch girls, girls want to watch girls. That's just a fact, and that's not an excuse for me. I'm still doing content, but I'm just saying, if you are a woman, you're gonna do a lot better than someone who's not. Just saying. And so women, especially young women, they don't understand this. And it's like, oh my God, they're 16 to 25, that's their peak window, their peak SMV. And they're like, I'll wait a little bit to do some more videos. Not today, I'll do it tomorrow. It's like, man, the clock's ticking. The clock is ticking. You're at your peak now. Doesn't mean you can't succeed later in life, but you're at your peak. You're at your peak. Okay? You're at your peak. Imagine if Trisha Paytas was 18. Imagine how much more viral she would be, right? Remember there was a girl out there called Tana Mongo? When she was 16, she was doing YouTube, and she peaked then, because that was her peak. Now she's like sliding down because she's just done too much face injections and drugs, and it's just like cooked her. But it's an example of, doesn't mean you can't be successful, but everyone's got their peak. You've got that peak vibe or aesthetic or whatever. Use it while you got it. And just because you're sliding down the SMV doesn't mean you can't be successful, okay? Just like if you're an athlete, there's this peak time where you could take the drugs and win the gold medal. And after that, if you miss that window, you can still do well, but you won't be the gold medalist. Does that make sense? Everyone has their peak in life, okay? In terms of a marketing value. Now, some people's peak, like Gary V, depends what sort of marketing you're doing. If you're doing aesthetics, that peak is going to be when you're younger. If you're doing motivational stuff, it's probably going to be when you're older, because people generally don't take advice from 20-year-olds on life, generally. But that doesn't mean they can't. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, what your gender is, your race, etc. Everybody has their peak, but don't let that peak prevent you from taking action. Oh, Harley, I've missed my peak. I'm 26 now. Well, then your peak is still going to be there because you weren't doing it when you were doing back in the day. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? If you've missed your golden window, it doesn't mean you can't succeed. It just means that your peak won't be as high as if you would. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So that's I guess, what talking to people about that is there's people in their peak, in their prime right now, their prime SMV, and then they don't even understand that, And I'm just like, oh my God, if I was a teenager again, if you're a teenage girl or a teenage guy, like, now's the time. Even Natasha was talking to her cousin yesterday, and I heard a bit of a conversation, and there was something, I think Natasha said, what do you want to be when she grows up? She said, I want to be a YouTuber. And I think she's only like 8 or 9 or 10. And I'm like, well, now's the time to get on. Like, now's the time today. Like, it's like, YouTube's a job where you start today. It's not like a university degree. Well, I'm going to be a doctor one day in 7 years' time. Okay. But YouTube's now. And if you want to be a successful YouTuber, then, like, you should have been doing 5 years ago. And if you haven't, now's today. Now's today. Today's now. So it baffles me when people are thinking, I lose like train of thought. I'm like, what? Like, oh, what? It's a bit like walking up to someone on the street, and they say, "Oh, we're standing in an oval right now," and you look down, you're like, "Hang on, we're standing on the street, dude." And you're like, "No, it's the oval," and you're just like, "What?" It's hard to comprehend. It's hard to comprehend what's going on. But anyway, that's the video. This is insights, just random thoughts in my head. Man, people kill their success by judging themselves way too much. I have very little judgment for myself. Is the audio good? Is the lighting okay? Do people understand what I'm saying? Am I talking too fast? Yeah, okay, good enough. I don't have this like script where I'm like, oh, it's got to be organized and I've got to have points, and I just freestyle it. Less work on stuff that doesn't really matter that much. People say, oh, it does matter that much. And it's like, well, how come you're not as successful as you could be on YouTube? How many people have you coached to YouTube success? That's my qualifications. Like, look how many people out there are making absolute bank or totally transform their life just from taking my advice and making it happen and taking action on it. Simple as that. It works for anyone. Anybody can be an absolute social media celebrity relative to their potential. Anyone can, but not everyone wants to do it. And I get that. It's fine. Right? But don't be coming at me. Make up excuses. All right, because that's all it is. Fucking excuses. And when you lose your excuses, you find your results. That would be a big tip. Is lose the excuses. Lose the excuses. But if you are in that peak, all right, if you are in that peak and you're watching this video in that 16 to 25 year old bracket, because that's where most of the audience is, 16 to 25 year olds, then today, man, like, stop fucking around. Right? Stop fucking around. Stop worrying about what your parents are going to think, or what your ex is going to think, or your friends, or just like, man, that's the worst mistake ever. I remember in 2011 I was doing these viral videos about spiders and snakes, and someone said to me, Harley, just stick with cycling. This content dilutes your message. And I was like, nah, fuck that. This is fun content. I like doing it. Talking about shark bites and snakes and stuff. And those videos made me a lot of subscribers, a lot of views, and made me a lot of money. And the person who told me that, they had good intentions, and I appreciate that. But if I look at them today, they've got more potential than I do. But because they've got so much self-judgment, and they hang around people who judge themselves and judge each other, then they live in this bubble of like entrapment. They can't get out. This perfectionism bubble. So they still live at home, and they're still like not living their dream, because they're judging themselves so fucking much. So a big tip as well is do sober, go sober, off the caffeine, off the drugs, off the meds, etc., and just relax. Go to bed early, just bang out content. And if people are judging you, then it's time to hang out with them, or what? Just be a lone wolf for a few years. Be a lone wolf for a few years, and then you'll start to attract people who are on the same page as you. Just be your fucking self. Be yourself, so people that value you as you can find you. If you wear this mask, then the people who really value who you are inside won't be able to find you. Just be you. Just be you, man. Simple as that. And that's the easiest way to live. The most fun way to live. Like life is so hard. Why make it harder with more self-judgment? Why make it harder with more self-judgment? I say work hard. Just bang out content. Don't judge yourself. That's wasted energy. All that time you spend judging yourself, you could be doing content that can help people. Just basic content. Simple shit. Make people laugh or whatever. Just basic stuff. Alright? Fuck the self-judgment, man. It's going to kill you. It's going to kill your success. It's going to kill your vibe. It's going to kill everything on you. Self-judgment, man. That's the worst enemy. There'll be no hater greater than self-judgment. Alright? Anyway. Upload, mate. Fucking upload.